So this book here, How Big is a Million? And another one here, How Big Was a Dinosaur? They're by the same author, illustrator, and Milbourne and Serena Riglietti. And these books ask questions that are related to maths and mathematical knowledge. And they're about this penguin here. His name is Pipkin, and he asks really interesting questions about the world. And in this particular one, he wants to know how big a million is. So of course he goes, asks his mum, and he discovers, well, we've got 10 fish. And then he wants to go off, and she sends him off on a journey to find out how big a million is. So he meets a crowd of penguins, and he discovers 100, and so on. He finds 1,000, but he never finds a million, and he heads back home again, and he goes and he meets his mom. He's so sad. He couldn't find a million, no matter how hard he tried. She gives him a big warm hug, and then she tells him to come outside. And at the back of the book, there's this massive big poster, and it's the stars. So that's his million. It's all the stars in the sky. You would definitely need 2 children socially distancing 2 meters apart to hold that poster up. It's so big. So it's lovely. So it's asking that question about how big is a million. So we're talking about tens, hundreds, thousands, millions, and you know, what do those numbers mean for those young readers? And similarly, this is a lovely accompaniment to it. How big was a dinosaur? So here we're talking about size, mass, length, and again, here we have Pipkin. And in this one, Pipkin goes back in time, as you do, and he goes back to see the dinosaurs, and he asks the dinosaurs, how big is a dinosaur? And this one says, well, I'm a dinosaur and I'm this big. So when children talk about, well, how big is it? So in this one, it's great because it gives you a comparison. Well, I'm bigger than this and I'm smaller than this. So it's lovely mathematical language in it. And as it goes on, the dinosaurs get bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually he meets Diplodocus, and he's this big. And we have lots of them there at the end. And eventually he goes home. Biggest dinosaur of them all was longer than long and taller than tall, as big can be. So lovely mathematical language there. And then in the very end, we have, again, a huge poster that tries to give a sense of proportion. So it gives, you know, the size of a person, a car, a tree. There's Triceratops. So I think that's a good representation. Triceratops was about the size of a tree, and we have dinosaurs. So again, you'd need 2 children to hold this poster up so that they could see all the dinosaurs on it. There's another book that I have, and it's called Life Size, and it's also about dinosaurs, and it's about size, and it shows the size of dinosaurs relative to something that the children can understand. So if you did want to borrow these 2 books, I'll give you the Life Size Dinosaur book as well. So 2 really nice, very simple books, but a nice way of linking your literacy and your numeracy for the early years.